because uh,
It's my
we are
Meetin.
very concerned of you, that stay in China, more especially Eastern China, and those of you Nigerians who come to China to do business.
Nigeria great. Let's make Nigeria great.
The reason why we're Nigeria just come.
Join us for the Nigerian Consultative Town Hall meeting in Shanghai. An interaction with His Excellency Chimezie Okioma, Consul General of the Nigerian Consultative in Shanghai.
One or two things. The government's policy that which we know, and so that
this meeting is being recorded.
Let's join hands and make Nigeria great.
Opportunity to use to make yourself your stay in China better. It's unfortunate, regrettable, I'm not around. I was called to come to Abuja for consultation by the Bishop of Foreign Affairs.
Ma?
There's a break in the network. Can anybody else hear him?
No,
Can anybody?
I can't hear from here.
Okay. Okay, since it seems that's not, it seems he's still making efforts to talk, but we don't seem to hear much further. Seems like he's not even online right now. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, the reality, just as you heard him say, he is currently at the airport traveling because he got a call to travel, and he is doing just that but right here at the Consulate General of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in Shanghai, the other officers of the Consulate General are here, and they'll be taking up the remaining part of the meeting. And today, I'll be serving as the moderator. My name is Udi Elijah, and I'm happy to welcome you to today's meeting. And of course, just as the Consul General mentioned, in the months and years ahead, there will be more of meetings of this nature, which will be organized to listen to the concerns of Nigerians here in East China, and also Nigerians in other parts of the world who have interests in East China, including business people, professionals, and other persons, possibly in the academia and other fields. So ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you once again to this meeting, and please join me to welcome next officer who will be speaking to us, the Consul Trade and Investment, Mr. Bakari Ilesomi. Please, sir, over to you. To that. Okay, so permit me, we will go directly to take the input from the Consular Services, Mr. A.M. Dogondaji. Please, over to you.
Basically, the essence of this channel.
There's no voice. Maybe you can raise your voice a little more. Mr. Adeboye, please, is it better now? Can you hear the voice now? Okay, is this
Yes,
okay?
please. My name is the Consular Officer of the Consulate General of Nigeria in Shanghai. Good evening. The essence of this town hall meeting is to reach out to the Nigerians here in China and in Nigeria that have interest in China, especially the Eastern China, via the consulate covers. We made so many moves to reach out to Nigerians in Shanghai here and other provinces under our jurisdiction. We have written to the provinces, the concerned authorities, the prisons, trying to see if we can reach out to them. But the response has always been it's not possible because of the COVID-19 pandemic and its restrictions, the protocols that we all know is affecting the whole, especially China. We have tried to see how we can sensitize Nigerians, tell them what exactly is going on in the country, what is expected from them, because the pandemic has made China put some restrictions that are affecting Nigerians. We are worried, we are concerned. We always receive calls, complaints, people calling from Nigeria to lodge complaints, especially Nigerian students, Nigerian businessmen, and also many Nigerians. We are trying to do what we can do, but some of the things are beyond our reach. But we are reaching out to the authorities, the Nigerian government, where it is necessary, so that they can intervene and see what can be done to ease the problems of Nigerians living in China, as Shanghai, especially at these provinces, and especially the distressed Nigerians. We have so many challenges. Maybe let me start with the COVID-19 pandemic. When the CG arrived, the new set of officers, we have like a plan to reach out to Nigerians, as I mentioned, but we couldn't. In the prison, because they are the most needed Nigerians in distress, looking up to our interventions, So we set up like a virtual meeting because this is what the prisons accepted at that time before they start to ease the protocol. So we here that we have the reach out to the authorities here in China and in Nigeria too. So thank God, by the interventions, we have like 50-60% of their complaints solved. Thank God that the authority is responding positively to our request and our demands. Secondly, the authorities, the prisons, the Chinese government to reach out to Nigerian students, Nigerian businessmen, Nigerian living in China, especially in this our provinces under us, that the new policy is going to affect virtually everything. So we should appeal to Nigerians to bear with the situation. We are bearing with the situation too, and they are communicating to us. There are so many problems that now put Nigerians in a serious problem. Most of the problems we are facing is drug abuse and money laundering. We reached out to the courts where the Nigerians are being tried for various offenses, especially drug abuse and money laundering. to us here, people are coming, we are interacting with them. Some do not even know that they are making these mistakes.
It's okay, it's coming.
People will tell you, Nigerians will tell you that
No
they have just changed currencies from yuan to naira. Monies are transferred into their accounts and they make exchanges. At the end of the day, the police will just arrest them, take them to court, and at the end of the day, they get a verdict against them and they get detained in prisons. We reach out to the prisons and the courts telling them that, okay, this is it. But they are clear. They said everybody knows that in China, you can't just be making exchanges, money exchanges, without being licensed. But there are so many Nigerians involved in this. Knowingly or unknowingly, thinking it's just simple transactions, I can just make it, but at the end of the day, it lands one into trouble. And so we want to talk to Nigerians, especially students, and tell them that this is the problem, they should be just from doing that. And for drugs too, this is one of the major issues that put Nigerians in a serious problem. We have Nigerians serving jail sentences for 25 years, 30 years for drug abuse, drug sales, and the rest. This is a serious problem that Nigerians should know. If you are living your country, even your country, you know where you can left to right, you don't have any right to deal with drugs. This is Asia, we know how they deal with drugs. Some countries, it's prosecutions, instantly they do work. Here in China, we have strict measures taken against whoever is involved in drug dealing. We have Nigerians, so many Nigerians unfortunately involved in this. And we are calling on police and police. It's always easier when we attend your case while you are free. When you are in court, there is nothing we can do. Nobody can interfere with the court proceedings. Nobody can say no to what the court says. Respect the local laws. Be obedient. Don't try to cut corners. You have no hiding place. You can only go where they say, and you can't hide. Please save yourself and save us from this trouble. Thank you. And another problem that left people, especially Nigerians, into trouble is the visa overstay. With these restrictions, our own findings, China is now bent on sending or deporting foreigners back home by simple provocation, simple slight mistake that usually is being overlooked. But now, because of the COVID-19, whatever they have changed their policies, a simple mistake, they deport one back to Nigeria. There are so many Nigerians with issues of visa overstays. You have your visa, you know when it is finishing, when it is ending, when it is expiring. This is simple. You can just to the consulate request for introduction so that you can have your visa extended. But Nigerians will just hold their arms, continue with their businesses, with their activities, until they are arrested, detained, and now the police will be talking to us. At that time, we can't do anything. They have been making attempts, they say it's an overstay, is overstay. It's illegal, it's punishable by law. So now they send Nigerians home. They request for ETC if you have your passport expired, if they are not ready to issue any visa extension, they request for ETC and we just send one to Nigeria. We have some cases where Nigerians leave their families here, leave their businesses, leave whatever they are doing here for Nigeria. If you go back to Nigeria, you can't make it back. Some Nigerians leave their money in the banks. We have issues currently trying to settle banks and get their money back. Some we have successfully achieved to do that. Some they say they must be around, they must be present before they can do that, which is a great problem. Nigerians are there at home being deported, but they don't have access to their accounts. They either get their accounts frozen or whatever. This is a great problem that we feel we should equally inform Nigerians so that they can abide by it. And number three, the major problem is we have students currently in Nigeria stranded. When the COVID started, some Nigerians left, thinking that it will just take some time, maybe 1 month or two, and return to China to continue their studies. Unfortunately, some since 2019, some 2020, the sessions are done, they are ongoing, but they can't make it back. We receive complaints by parents, by students, virtually every day that, okay, what happens to their works? What happened to the students? What happened to their courses? What happened to their certificates? Can they be transferred to maybe other institutions in Nigeria? We also have problems with that. On this, we are reaching out to the authorities, and it's always the same story, that no way. They are working on it, but they are waiting for orders from above. The order that seems not forthcoming, and some Nigerians are still being admitted in other institutions. So now we have these problems, but we still see how we can go and get them back. Thank God, last two, there was a batch of foreign students arriving in China, so at least by that we know things are going to be. Yeah. In the consulate here also, we have so many Nigerians coming requesting passports because of the restrictions. Going to Beijing or Guangzhou, where passports are produced, there are difficulties, especially in Shanghai here, that are recording by the day some challenges of COVID cases, and some cities, some provinces are not allowing Nigeria even to lodge hotels or be allowed into the city. So we are making our move to see that passport production machine is being stationed here, at least to ease the hardship and travel hardship and restrictions for Nigerians to be able to get their passport here. And basically, these are the things, these are the major challenges we are having in the consulate here. Witnessed, and we are registering, and we are making moves to see at least, even with restrictions, with difficulties, at least Nigerians get things easier. We are everyone's hands are on deck in the consulate to see that we can do whatever we can do possible to make sure that Nigerians find it so easy here. So you have to bear with us. There are instances where we cannot help, we cannot assist. And now, thank God, the lockdown is over. We are fully on course, and we are all agree to make sure that things go easily for us, for Nigerians living in China, and for the authorities also to intervene in Nigerian cases. I think this can allow others to say some few words, then hear your complaints, and then response possibly, what you have to tell us about suggestions and suggestions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That was the presentation by Mr. A.M. Dogondaji, the Consular Services of the Consulate General of the Republic of Nigeria here in Shanghai. And that having been said, we at this point will begin to take comments or questions. Mr. Ismail, please, do you hear it a little better now? Is it clearer? Okay, good. Thank you. Right. So, if there are questions or comments, we would like to take that at this time. So if you have anything to say, if you typed it, you may post it, or if you want to say something, you could raise your hand. I'll grant you. Okay. Yeah. Please, Middle East President, your hand is up. You may unmute yourself and say something. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Excellencies, good evening. Can you all hear me? Hello? Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I commend this initiative. This is the first of its kind. It's unfortunate that Consular is currently not on seat. First of all, being the first time this initiative is being held, I'm kind of disappointed, first of all, with the way, with the first topic the attaché for immigration started with. It took me by shock and by surprise. First of all, this is the reason why all 2001 during the pandemic, the consulate was virtually unstable. The previous attaché for immigration, Madam Maimuna, she worked very well with the organization, and the CG was actually, there was virtually nobody controlling the consulate at this time. So there were virtually many issues affecting Nigerians. And as Nigerians in diaspora, we went a lot in trying to fill in this role, to the extent I personally, as the president of NIDO, I went to the PSB, I engaged Madam Maimuna, we engaged the Nigerian embassy, all trying to solve various problems, from visa, from direct refusal, to allow Nigerians to extend their visas. This particular new team, I like the approach of this current CG, but starting this program today, you guys have sort of let me down. You have reminded us of the old Nigerian official mentality. Throw all the blames on Nigeria. This is not it. There is a root cause of what Nigerians are currently facing in the eastern part of China. And we have communicated the reasons for this to the previous CG, and then I still went ahead to remind the current CG, and the current CG kept me up to date about the initiative we are taking. However, it's going to be a gradual process. What Nigerians are facing right now is very peculiar to Nigeria. Now let's break it down. I'm sorry I'm taking too much time. Take for instance, in terms of the COVID vaccine. Do we know that all Ghanaians and many other African countries were allowed to take the vaccine for free? Nigerians we insisted that Nigerians pay for the vaccine. 2, working visa for Nigerians, they were completely denied working visa. There are reasons for this, but we were told that Nigerians have to go home and come back. There are reasons for targeting Nigeria, which we all understand from the previous consular personnel, which they knew, but these issues were not touched on. So starting this program and putting all the blames on Nigerians, especially if we are to talk down on Nigerians, it should not be Nigerians in the Middle East, because Nigerians in the Middle East are one of the well-behaved Nigerians in the whole of China. If you're telling me about Middle Southern, Middle North, it's okay. We understand. I have lived in China more than 10 years. Good. Now that aside, please. The next is the issue exactly that was started about the issue of money laundering and the rest of it. This is what we all understand the nature of the Nigerian economy. We equally understand the nature of the Chinese economy. So this is what we need the authorities to do. Engage. What kind of programs? You have heard the complaint being brought about. Okay? How can we engage China where we can actually have an official, open, free way of actually exchanging money or making payments in goods and services? And we have, as the embassy done research on the amount of trade we have on the grain side, we have with China. So there has to be an alternative. So there shouldn't be. It's a very good initiative. But please let's not start with actually talking down on Nigeria. There will always be problems, and we are happy to have this new team of officials. Trust me, these are the best Nigerians you can actually work with in China, from the campus of China. Going forward as well, we appreciate in the future that this administration will continue to work more clearly with the middle organization, because when the officials are not around, it is the Nigerians in diaspora that held the house, held the organization, and held Nigerians keeping our head standing high. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jose, Middle East President, for your comments. And I would let some other persons, the officials have taken note, and relevant responses will be provided. But we'll let some other persons to make comments. So please, ladies and gentlemen, if you have something further to say, any comments to make, questions to ask, the floor is yours. Feel free, you raise your hand, I'll call on you if you're able to do that. Okay, I'll read out some questions or some questions I see on the screen before the next person comes in. So Emmanuel sends, please, I want to ask what the Nigerian government is doing concerning returning of students back home. I have heard some countries like India, Pakistan, and others are negotiating for return back to China. Some schools have started sending notes to students who wish to return. I want to ask how soon should we be expecting? I think this person is talking about returning to China, not necessarily returning back home. Returning to China. Emmanuel, I think that's the point. So what's the Nigerian government doing about getting Nigerian students to return to China? The other comment is there going to be a communique for this meeting just to help the media? The response is yes, as already typed in the chat box. And the next question is on the air ticket from Nigeria. The air ticket from Nigeria is outrageously expensive, while people get cheaper tickets from other African countries. Why is that? Why is it that everything about Nigeria is different? Thanks. Okay, yes, so further questions, comments? I've taken notes and we'll respond shortly. But would like to take other comments or questions. This is the time for that. So the floor is open. If you're not talking, it may be useful to have your audio muted. Okay, Yomi G, I see your hand. Please, you may unmute yourself and speak. You're allowed to unmute.
Open the floor to get my mind on some of the issues that affect us, and just to line up behind the previous speaker, I must really commend this, because it looks like we don't have a family here, besides the academic community that we have, and in which I must, not because Mr. Hodi is here, Dr. Hodi, but because I must, because he's doing a great job to galvanize the academic community, not just of Nigerians, but Africans, generally in China. We have, that sense of belonging, in that front, but it looks like we don't have a sense of belonging when it comes to our home front, the Nigerian front, in China. So I must sincerely commend the leadership of the excellencies at the Shanghai Consultative that have been able to put this together. And I wish, we have this kind of meeting to be consistent, so that we can know that, if there's any challenge, we have some people to fall back upon, and so that we just have the sense of, we are Nigerians and not helpless here. Because I must say sincerely, I'm speaking as a student, many of us feel like if you have any improvement here, you're on your own, nobody will help you. So it's better, you keep your heads. So that's how many of us feel here. And let me speak for the students, postgraduate students. I must say, unapologetically and sincerely, that many of our students feel naked here because they are being bullied by their professors. We had a trend recently in my university where once people finish their maybe masters and they offer the opportunity for the PhD, they don't want to stay. They just give some kind of flimsy excuse and they get out of the country for, of course, we have an idea for better places. And we have, some PhD students that looks like maybe they are stuck. And it looks as if they don't have, should I say, any bargaining chip or any leverage or any way to bear their mind. And any way to fall back to report to, concerning what they are passing through. And we know those that are studying for PhD or maybe master's programs can attest to that we know that some of our companies, they report the consulate, the embassy. We have learned with those information that in such situations they intervene, and one way or the other, such issues you are fixed. They do, it from government to government. I have, a friend. I have two friends. Let me say I have a friend who were in the same school together, that they are practically being bullied. And one of them, was just told, you just have to cope, just have your PhD and leave. But we know that we can have a soft landing, better soft landing than this, if we have this sense of belonging with our government, and in which we know that our embassies and consulates can do a lot, in that regard. So when we have issues like this, can we report that? In a situation whereby we have a PhD student, for example, for instance, who on his first session of semester, he made a contribution to a paper in his lab, nature, for that matter. Without his contribution, they would have maybe not been able to achieve that. And when they were to write a report for him, an annual report, have to score this guy just to make sure they suppress it. A lot, is happening. And a person that has spent about 3 years on his PhD, contributed to papers, published papers independently himself, was even thinking of leaving the program and going away. We have some people that practically they are abusive words from their professors, and it's not because they are not making progress with their research, but maybe because they are blacks. Let's call it what it is. Maybe because they are blacks, or because they feel, you'll be oppressed here because you don't look like us. We know what it is here. So I want to ask, please, is it that our country doesn't have any leverage again where we can negotiate, or where we can, put it to some of our host institutions, or maybe to our host countries here, that don't bully us. We are humans. So please, I want us to, this is just, my heart. Some of those my colleagues cannot be here because they don't, I'm privileged and fortunate that I'm not in that situation, but I feel I should speak for them, okay? Because they cannot be here, because they must be in the lab, and they must just be doing like dummies there. So, please, is there anything that we can do in such situations to help? Can we report situations or cases like this to our embassies, maybe our consular offices, if perhaps there's any way they can really change intergovernmental negotiations? We don't know how it operates. Is there any way or anything that can be done with regards to thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yomi G. Thank you for that input. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to let you know also that the Consul General, although not seated here, is actually listening from the aircraft where he is about taking off soon, making every effort to also follow what's happening in the meeting. And we want to thank you, Your Excellency, Ambassador Chimezie Ogu, for the sacrifices you're making to make this happen. And the next person on the line, we have another question, another hand raised. And I'll just give that opportunity at the moment to Edwards. Please, you may unmute yourself and speak.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Your Excellencies. Your Excellency, the Honorable Consular in Shanghai. Thank you for this opportunity for us to meet. I want to say thank you to all the officials at the consulate. Thank you for creating this time out. Mine actually isn't a question or a contribution. I just felt I should say something about what Mr. Yomi just talked about, talking about the front, the home front, apart from the one that Dr. Elijah is leading efficiently and effectively. First and foremost, I would like to say, how many students here in China belong to Nigerian associations? We have ANSIC, we have NIDO, and we have city associations. Now, how many of these students having challenges actively belong to any of these organizations? I'm privileged to be serving at the moment as the General Secretary of NIDO, both in NIDO East and in NIDO China. I can clearly state that most of the issues we have or we get to know about, we find out that most of these people don't even know if ANSIC exists, if NIDO exists. Now, how can you make use or benefit or get benefits from these organizations if you don't know they exist? I meet people and I tell them, are you in any organization? They say, what organization? I say, well, how can you even ask me what organization? In the first place, this is not our home. The only thing we have here is we have to create a family here. And the next question they will ask me, what benefit will I get if I join? That particular question takes me aback, and I was like, what do you mean? What benefit do you get? Would you get? Almost all the issues we have trashed, both in ANSIC and in NIDO, are when people have very emergency issues. Health issues, tuition, or maybe legal issues. Now you find out that these people don't even know who is who in their city, don't even know what is NIDO. So now the question now is, can you help someone who doesn't know that you exist? That's the question. We have in time past raised financial assistance for people who had issues to go back home. This was done within 2, 3, 4 days. I've been privileged to spearhead, I've been privileged to of ANSIC. So now these are the problem. I'm sorry to say this adage because I know we have elders here. You don't say proverbs when elders are seated. But there's a saying that it is a child that opens the hand that you carry. You don't know someone has an issue. You don't know someone exists. How can you reach out to help? So the issue of saying we don't have a home front, no, we have a formidable home front. In fact, that
This meeting is being recorded.
We're just 10. We created an ANSIC group. I went to my school, told my school that, hello, we are Nigerians and we are here representing other Nigerians. And all through my 3 years in that, we never had issues because I was always there. We're always there for each other. Now, if you are in a city and you are in a city, it is expedient, it is necessary that you come together and form a group. Once you are 10, you can form a group. If you can't form a group in your school, you can reach out to the next city. What we're trying to say is, we always want people to do things for us. No, set out to do things for yourself. Get yourselves organized, present yourselves to the school, let the school know that the embassy knows you are here in China. If anything happens in your school, the embassy can listen to you. I held my school to ransom using the consulate, Shanghai consulate, and using the embassy. They couldn't do any Nigerian any harm or any hurt because if they tried, I go to them and tell them my embassy would hear of this. And the country we are in, they respect government. That's the thing. So let's not push the whole thing to some set of people. Let us take responsibilities first. That's just my addition to what Mr. Yomi said. Thank you very much, Your Excellencies.
Thank you, Mr. Nathaniel, General Secretary of Nigerians in Diaspora Organization in China, as well as in East China. Thank you for that comment. And we are moving gradually to a close of the question and comment section, but it's still open for input. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have something to say, the floor is open. I saw somebody asking how hand could be raised, and I will just call on you, even though you have not raised your hand. The person is, okay, you've not raised your hand, but I'll call on you, because we are looking for how to do that. Obedience, please. Hey,
good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, members of the consulate, and hi, members of our representative in Nigeria. My name is Eniola. I just wanted to add to what Mr. Jensek has said information, and I really wanted to know what our embassy would like to help us with by directing people to join organizations. Now, that may sound very off, but I've been in situations in the past 1 year where people could use their hands to beat their chest that, oh, they know somebody at the embassy, so they literally don't need an organization. And I want to say that that is killing us more than is helping us. Now, for example, I have people that I know in NIDO Europe specifically. I know a few of their members, and I know some leading people in a particular European country. The way they run things, you would think NIDO is Assistant Nigerian Embassy. Like that's the first place to arrange things before you go and bother the embassy with your problems. I feel like that is an exemplary method. I'm not saying follow NIDO or something, or follow, but you should be a part of an organization. For example, I would be with a group of Nigerians, especially students, and they say, oh, we've never heard of NIDO. And the ones that have heard of NIDO, they will say things like, oh, I don't like NIDO. In fact, I hate NIDO because of something that happened. Now, I'm notoriously known for not mincing words. So, especially the faction in my city, in Sujo, they say, oh, we have the embassy, so we don't need NIDO. I mean, I find it very repulsive because when something happens, then you remember NIDO. I mean, I don't understand that concept. Because out of all the WeChat groups, WeChat is the only place we can come together, even though we don't see each other physically. Out of all the WeChat groups, NIDO has more people. In fact, one of the groups that say things that you can relate with, where you can find help. In fact, you can find help going to the embassy on a NIDO group than just doing it by yourself. I think Nigerians like the individuality thing. They rather do it by themselves or say, oh, I have a link to the embassy. When we have people that can actually help you first before you go bother the embassy. So I want to know if the embassy can actually help us to encourage our people to go and join organizations. Because if we face problems as a group, it's like Mr. Nathaniel said, face a problem as a group. It helps faster than facing it as one person or go bothering the embassy first. Some people want to call embassy. They say, oh, ask in a group. They say, I'm not in any group. Oh. And I'm like, are you seriously kidding me? So we just want the help of the embassy to liaise with student organizations, city organizations, other organizations to help to tell our people to join these groups. Now, if you don't want to participate in the banters in the group, it's okay, you can mute it. But be somebody that people know. Be somebody, because I've seen cases where people were sick and it's other NIDO people that went to greet them in the hospital. They don't even know them from Adam. So if we can put ourselves together, if we can help ourselves, it's going to stress embassy. That's just my thoughts. So if our embassy can help us tell our people, what organization are you? We use that in our country. It's not something strange to us. Even our parents have old girls association, old boys association, somebody community association. It's part of our culture. But when we go abroad, we just want to do individual something. It's very fast like that. I don't want to associate with people.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Eniola is the Vice President of Nigerians in Diaspora Organization in East China, and we thank you for those very practical points raised, which agree with the points also raised by the General Secretary and the President who spoke previously. And we want to request that the other people who are going to talk, please try as much as possible to make it a little brief. We are moving towards a close time. So the hands that are raised, when we hope to hear from the business people, although we know that most of the people in Eastern China are students and professionals, but if there are students, if there are business people here who want to hear any complaints or any points you're going to bring up. So the next person is person who's reading Galaxy Note 8. I don't know. I hope you will identify yourself. I hope you know that's your name.
Okay.
Yes, please. Your hand is
good
raised.
evening. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, please introduce yourself, your name, and then proceed.
Okay, I am Master Stephen Agaze. I'm a doctoral student in China. When I look at the overview of the meeting, it captures every aspiration of Nigeria. One is that I am a professional, I'm a student, and I also survive by business. So the issue of the problems facing Nigerians in China are numerous. I think
We seem to be missing you, Steve. Are you still with us?
yes, I can see
It's a different work entirely.
with you.
But
Can
I'm
you
pushing it on. They're
hear
having a
me?
meeting. This meeting, these people now.
Cracking a little.
This meeting is holding in
Not so
China.
clearly.
It's not Nigeria. This is China. You can see Chinese president here.
Yeah, we see you're trying to talk, but
This is
it's
China,
not so
China now.
clearly. Yeah, we can't hear you.
So from China now, I'm bringing in China now to Nigeria.
Maybe we'll
I
take the
brought it to
next
Nigeria
person
now.
while we
Now
return to
push
you.
it to the whole world through
no.
where
Oh,
this where
yeah,
everybody
please,
is now
you may
watching.
proceed if you are able.
You understand? Yes.
While we're waiting for you, let me read out what I see on the screen. So, fantastic listener. Okay, it's a follow-up comment. It seems. Okay, maybe not necessary. Okay. Yes, we can't hear you, Mr. Steve. So we'll take the next person. Please, Henry, your hand is up. Unmute yourself and proceed. Steve, we'll come back to you later. You may mute yourself for now. Please, Henry, unmute.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, this is Henry from EU, China.
Thank you, Harry.
Yeah. Good evening, all, and I greet everyone, the excellencies, and the Nigerians in diaspora and at home. I would just want to play an issue which I think I have discussed with some other people pertaining our business here. I'm a businessman in EU here. We are having some issues of problems reporting from some of our people that are staying in Nigeria, paying Chinese here for some services to render to them, of which those Chinese sometimes they will not render the service, they will not answer them, and they will not refund their money.
Go back to that place I went to.
There is a guy which has, for his issue, I have met with EU police here.
I'm coming, baby.
The issue is of $25,000. The guy paid to a Chinese man since 2019 before the lockdown for business, and till now the man is not picking the guy's phone number, and I tried calling the guy, he's not picking the number, and the office here is closed, but he has a registered office, and I think he has a number. Everything I have is, and I contacted Chinese here, the policeman here, telling the man that this man has a registered company here, he has a phone number, provided no matter the phone number is not working. But I know when somebody registers, before you get a number in China here, you have your information recorded. They will document your information. There is no how they cannot locate you. But they say they cannot do anything. that the person that has the business done with the person needs to come to China. The man gets another company to produce the goods for him, and that company paid them deposit of 50,000. And after paying the deposit of 50,000, the first person that has been producing these goods to this customer, who is in Nigeria, happens to come to China here and register the same brand in China, whereas the customer in Nigeria has already registered in Nigeria. And they went to another company to do it. They at Shanghai there, they said the Chinese custom, they call the goods and seize is a very large quantity of goods. They put it in a shipload. And later on, they seize the goods, everything, maybe after the producer, who is the manufacturer, made away with the goods. But after we wanted to settle the case with the guy in Nigeria, I called the man in China here to know how to settle the case. The man in China started claiming that if he spent that, the customer is going to pay him $125,000 before he will start the business. And we are just asking, where do you spend the $125,000? Since then, he has not been picking our calls. And this is an issue that we are facing here. There are some that will be like $2,500, $5,000, $10,000. But this huge one, I want to know, is there any way that our embassy here can help so that our brothers there can continue their business by receiving this money, even if their goods cannot be shipped to them? Let the Chinese people refund them their money so that they can continue their business.
Thank you, Mr. Henry. Really elaborate question there. And the officers just gave me a side talk that this is a serious issue, and it would be good if you visit the consulate to discuss more details and with relevant documents or anything you can access. Then they'll be able to.
Yeah, I have all of them.
Okay. So visit the consulate maybe sometime in September or thereabout, or you confirm with the consulate before you come, and more attention will be given to this. Thank you very much for bringing that up. I was just calling and requesting that there should be a business question, and you brought a very big one. Thank you. Yes. So yes. So I will right now just read out some comments on the. So what's the plan towards capacity building? What's the plan towards capacity building in terms of an enabling business and investment environment for Nigerians? And the new officials should know our host has a lot of bad business-minded people too. We are not the only lawbreakers. Let's understand them so they do not make our officials feel humble. Let's proceed to capacity building for Nigerians. The next comment is from Chibike. Is there an improvement in the situation of Nigerians being singled out from not getting work visas but asked to exit the country? Several persons experienced this last year and previous years. Is the situation still the same currently, or has it been addressed by responsible authorities on the Nigerian and Chinese sides? Or perhaps, what is the current status? I need to ask the question. Okay, please, Chupebuka, the floor is open to you now. Proceed. But just before you proceed, let me read out the next one. If you are in the wrong, you are wrong. Please understand how Nigerians are treated and try to be on the right side of the law. Don't follow others to break the law, the host law, of you being singled out at Chibike. Thank you. So please, thank you, Eniola, for that, Oyi, for that comments, but I'll call upon Chukwuemeka Okagu. Please, the floor is yours.
Can you hear me?
Yes, clearly.
Okay, I just want to say thank you to the consular and everyone that has set up this meeting. I actually have a very important thing to say. First of all, I'm a teacher. We have met with the consular sometime in Suzhou for the Nigerians Independence Day celebration. That was sometime last year. So I currently am a teacher working in Changshu. I teach math, and I also have another Nigerian who teaches computer science also that works in Changshu. To be exact, the school is United World College Changshu. So this is my question. Initially, previous years, they singled out Nigerians especially to give students 6 months student visa without any explanation. They gave other African countries that I know of 1 year, 2 years as the case may be, but when it comes to Nigeria, they give us 6 months. And this was really dominant in the SIP Public Bureau in Suzhou. Now, we transferred from Suzhou to Changshu, and the first year that we were working, me and the other Nigerian, they gave us 1 year work visa. But the second year, because our contract lasts for 1 full year, the second year, they gave us 6 months, just me and the other Nigerian. And the other Africans, they didn't even need to go to the immigration office. They just gave them 1 year. So we asked what the problem was, and they gave us no explanation. They said it's a policy from the Chinese government. What is the policy? They gave us no explanation. And I'm scared that this is going to continue. It's going to be a trend if it is not checked. And like someone said, that it's very difficult for them to give Nigerians work visa. It is actually true. For me and the other Nigerians to get our work visa, we had to go back, but this was before the COVID. We had to go back all the way to Nigeria to do it there, while others were doing it in Hong Kong and stuff. So I think it is something that it's a big challenge. I think it's something that the consular should look into, because they are claiming that it's. I mean, there was a time I went to the bank to also change money from RMB to dollars, and I couldn't change a lot of money because they said Nigeria is a high-risk nation, so we are in a list where we cannot change money. I have other witnesses that followed me to the bank. That was like 2 years ago, which is a student and another student. We wanted to change the minimum of $500, but we're not allowed to do so. They told us that we have to bring more documents, and I have to prove that I'm actually working and stuff like that. So I think these issues should not be ignored. Lastly, what I wanted to say is that there are so many cases where a crime is committed by 3 different nationalities. When it has to do with the Nigerian, maximum punishment. But when it has to do with other nationalities, they pay fines. So I know I've listed a lot of problems where I think these are issues that the consular and other officers in charge should look at. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Okagu, for your comments. Well taken. The officials will respond at the right time. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we do not see any other hands up, and there are no hanging comments except the one I cannot read, speaking in Chinese, but I see no from Samson. Thank you. Okay, so one hand is still raised, but maybe it's a hand that, okay, Steve, you've spoken already, thank you. Okay, Steve, you're back on. You may try to complete your comment. Steve, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, clearly.
Okay. I was also referencing to what every other Nigerians have said, because the problems are general problems. I think I'm honorably advising the consular to set up a leadership that will be in charge of all these mentioned problems, a central problem-solving institution within the consular. Because checking it, I fall in the range of the every aspirations of Nigerians here. I'm a professional I'm a student, and as a Nigerian, you can only do business here to survive. So the problem is a general one. It ranges from exchange barriers and money issues. As a student, as a Nigerian, you already profile negatively. In terms of business, it's the same thing. So I think I have trust in the consular and the members I can see in this video that all we have is a central leadership that will attend to these problems. Because the problem of Nigeria is one. Whether you are a student or a business person or a professional, the business is one. The way, even though if you travel by train or by flight, the way they start you, but sometimes we take on it because we feel like maybe people who are in charge to represent us are not even looking at the matters. Except on those who are on diplomatic passport or visa, but once you present your passport, the problem comes. In terms of population.
Okay, please proceed.
I think the solution have to come from the embassy to have a central leadership who will be in charge of business of Nigerians, a leadership who will be in charge of students, and the leadership who will be in charge of business people. It's the way we attend to this problem determine how we treat us. If we have a representative in these areas, I believe this problem should be solved. Because in our cooperation with China, it's balanced, it should be balanced. And it's reciprocal. Whatever we have to step up to some certain things. When I look at the pictures of leaders here, I see prominent leaders. Once you stand for it, it will give us our rights and honors.
Yes, thank you very much, Steve.
I have hope in the consular and the embassy to look into this problem.
Absolutely. Thank you, Steve, for those very important comments. And ladies and gentlemen, as you'll agree with me, this has been a very important meeting. Several situations laid on the table, and responses will be coming in just in a moment. We're going to take the last comment or last question for this evening. And as we said, this meeting, this is not going to be the last one, because the cases that come are not things that can be finished in one day. So it will be a conversation that will be continuing as the Consulate General has expressed all the while. So we will take the last question from Golden Princess, but before I do that, let me just read out what's on the screen, and we will take the comment from Golden Princess, and that will be the last for this evening or this morning for those in Nigeria. Chima Anyegu asked, can we apply for work permit in Shanghai? Can we apply for work permit in Shanghai? I'm almost tempted to answer that, but the question is not to me. So let me leave it. Yeah. Yes. So then I agree our relationship should be balanced. We are very important in Africa. And Ismail asked a question. My question is on police report for such things as work visa. Since you entered China, you have not gone back. Why the need for police report again? Does it mean we commit crime in Niger while from China? Okay, why can't the consulate issue police reports from here? Why can't the consulate issue police report from here? Okay, this is an important question. And so please, Golden Princess, the floor is yours, and you are the last person making a comment from that angle to this time. So please, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from Golden Princess. The floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone. I really appreciate the consulate and the entire Middle East. Thanks for hosting this wonderful meeting. So it's an appreciation for us. And coming to matters arising, problems I see in most Nigerians. I'm currently in Guangzhou, So I know some of the students that maybe after graduation, they have issues of maybe starting registering for business, and maybe they are denied of visa after spending a lot of money per se, and it's not just maybe 10,000, 2,000, 20,000. It's a lot. Sometimes they collect 40, 50, and more from them just to give them business visa. Is there any way the consulate can make maybe if there is a reliable agent that can be helping Nigerians, or if there is maybe a means that they can discuss with the Chinese government to make it easier for us to have a reliable source, because agent is eating our and our sisters' money here, and I'm not happy about it. At the end of the day, they give them 2 weeks to vacate the environment, which is not supposed to be so. Bilateral relationship should be win-win, not just one person benefiting and the others are not. All of us are here, maybe most of them would want to stay back after graduation, spending 10 to how many years here studying. Would want to like have something that will show apart from the certificate we come here to get. And two, secondly, talking about termination of work visa. I have a lot of people complaining that their work without prior notice, they terminate their work visa without even them knowing. Some of them even found out going to renew visa, they discovered that they have overstayed. And the company they were working for did not even tell them that your work permit has been terminated. The breach contract, especially when it comes to Nigerian people, our contract has been breached. And at the end of the day, what you hear is Mebanfa, Weshama, Meshama, Jela Shitin, Tamakweshi, that's how they will be telling you. We don't know. It's a law, and that is what you hear. No reasonable reason for any of all this happening. You want to open an account, maybe as a Nigeria, something that somebody would do someone from Zimbabwe, other countries, we do within a second. It will take you the whole days and it will not be finished, even 1 week.
Thank you, Golden
So I don't know why it's like that for us. It's actually a very, very painful experience, especially for students.
Yeah, Golden Princess, your point.
So I think apart from these are problems that I've heard from my people and I've witnessed it too as in Nigeria. So I hope and we are pleading because I know it's difficult for you, but we are pleading. At least let the relationship be win-win. They only cheat Nigeria people. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Golden Princess, for your point. Very well noted. Ladies and gentlemen, we come to that point in this event when we are going to hear from our honorable consul officers to respond to these points. The points are so many, I hope we can finish it today. If we can finish it today, we will see, but if we can't, we'll do it tomorrow. But now we're going to invite first the consular services, on whose head many of the points raised land. So please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me Mr. A.M. Dogondaji, the consular services at the Consulate General of the Country of Nigeria here in Shanghai. Please, over to you, sir.
This forum, this town committee. Yeah, generally we are talking about the issues, the problems facing Nigeria. When we give like a general answer to actually all the questions, we are going to sit down, we have heard you, we are going to sit down, look at all these things, and by the time the CG comes back, we are going to put all these things into action. We will do what we can do. There are three levels of our action. One, there is what we can do within us. Two, there is what we can do to reach out to the authorities here. There is also what we can do to reach out to the embassy, because we are the consulate here. So issues raised by you can only be done by the embassy. We have a consulate in Guangzhou, we have a consulate here. We all said the issues that are beyond us to the embassy. Now the ambassador will now make it like a paper, a letter to the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, his intervention, one that we can take to the Ministry of Justice, the relevant authorities. Yeah, firstly, I want to commend NIDO for their contributions, especially the President. He has always been here with us. We want to commend him, we want to commend the association. They are really helping a lot. I know of instances whereby NIDO will now be the one to call us for the issues of Nigerians and visitors. We want to thank you very much. I equally want to say specifically to the NIDO president, we are not blaming anybody. We are not blaming anybody. This is a town hall meeting. These are Nigerians talking to Nigerians. We have to tell ourselves the truth. We know what we are facing. We know what we are facing too. We are not blaming anybody. We are just advising. Generally, this is it. Yeah, we have responsibilities. NIDO has a responsibility too. Nigerians here have responsibilities. So with us coming together to operate, we can confront anything and get solutions to it. We are not blaming anybody. We know you are contributing. We have Nigerians doing their legitimate businesses. We have even the prisons now. The inmates, sometimes we reach out to prisons, they tell us that the Nigerian inmates are not they are well behaved by their statistics, the contributions of Nigerians in their participations in activities in the prison. They are commenting that. So even at prisons, we have Nigerians that do so good. Not to talk of Nigerians outside living freely and doing it.
Just keep it near that place.
We are on it.
So I
We have heard your contributions. We have jotted them down.
Go to the
We are
studio and
going to
arrange it
sit
for me.
down,
Clean.
especially
Let me
somebody,
fix it.
Mr. Yomi, advising that committees get up to look out on these things, or to reach out to Nigerians here in China. We have done that. We have done all our best. We have put down to authorities that we want to reach out to Nigerians and sensitize them. We have issues on ground. Since we arrived here, we wanted to see Nigerians, meet them one-on-one. What are their problems? What are your problems? Let us know. But they are denying us. This is the reason why we said, okay, let's arrange this. Let's reach out to Nigerians. Let us hear their complaints. We have done that with prisoners. Prisoners, I earlier said that. That's why we are doing it here now. Other provinces that we are connected, this is the only way that we can reach out to you. We have had your complaints, and we are rest assured that we are going to work on them. We are going to do all we can do possible to make sure that solutions are reached. And we have so many complaints that Nigerians are doing manipulated. We are doing our best. We have written so many note verbal to the authorities, the first authorities. We have written to Nigeria, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Malaysia. We have written to Nigerian embassy in China, in Beijing, so that they can come to the edge of Nigerians living in China generally. Because whatever affects Nigerians and Nigerians in Beijing, in Shanghai, in all provinces, these are all Nigerians. We are here, being here does not mean that we cannot assist Nigerians in other provinces. That's why we have an ambassador that will sit down, tripartite, the consul general here, the consul general in Guangzhou, the ambassador sit down and address, present your complaints so that we can take it up where we cannot go. This is all I can say, and be rest assured that we are going to work all these things, and by the grace of God, we are going to see things done by God's grace. Thank you very much for your contributions, and this is like starting an avenue, like a forum for us. We are going to continue with this. We are going to continue to hear from you. When the normalcy returns, when the restrictions of traveling, we are going to reach out to all of you in your own doorsteps. We will go to every province under us. We will go to all provinces. We will go to virtually all important cities and see and reach out to Nigerians, hear from them, and take their message on. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ian Ugondaji, Consular Services, for the responses provided. And just as you heard him say, beyond the responses that will be made at this moment, which will be coming more from other officers just in a moment, there is going to be subsequent attention to all these items, and a communique will be put together, which you will get to know later to get further responses when the Consul General is around. Right now, we're going to hear further responses to some of the issues raised coming from the next official, Mr. Taufik Koka Obasanjo, who is going to take up just from this moment. Please, over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone.
See that there. Can you see where you say you swept that place?
I want to thank everyone.
You are praising this store. When you carry something, they won't see dirty there. Bring back and pack
I want
with
to assure you
dirty
that all the points that have been raised are genuine, and we are glad this is coming up. It's giving us issues to work on, and like my colleague has said, when the Consul General comes back, we'll table all of these issues, and we assure you that we are going to find solutions after the discussion. The issues raised have basically been visas, issues concerning education. Some Nigerians that are stuck in Nigeria and are not able to come back to continue their studies. Then, majorly, business issues concerning business, which have actually been, truncated due to the COVID situation here, and some other issues concerning, breach of contracts, which are very, very important. We will look into all of these issues and we will try to find solutions as we have capacity to. Then there are issues concerning
open it up.
Nigeria membership of Nigerians here in Nigerian organizations. That's a very, very important issue. And like some of the participants have said, I remember Nathaniel and Eniola talking about the importance of Nigerians joining this organization. There's, I would say there's little the consulate can do. There's a lot we can do, but Nigerian organizations are closer to more than the consulate. So they are like the first interface, they are your immediate family, and the consulate will now be like the extended family. So I want Nigerians to look at it, and you mentioned something like how the consulate can help with membership drive. Yes, the consulate can do it, but we can only do it with the Nigerian organization. So we look at it as it's a very important issue. We look at that. Then the issue about stereotyping. Because most of these issues have been about stereotyping of Nigerians and negative narratives. What I can say about this is I can only implore us as Nigerians, and my colleague has mentioned it in his opening remarks too, although I think the president of NIDO took it
like it was blaming Nigerians. It's an opposition. We are the ones that can rewrite this negative narrative and stereotyping about Nigeria. I'm glad to hear from our participants that Nigerians in Eastern China have been well behaved. Please, we need to applaud that, and I want us to continue to keep it up. Whatever we do, we should remember that we as individuals are ambassadors of Nigeria. So please, I implore you to continue the good work and continue the good image being projected of Nigeria. Thank you very much. That's my contribution.
It's like having this kind of meeting with you, and we really appreciate all your suggestions to acknowledge the conditions of Nigeria in China. I want us to see this as a community meeting, as a family meeting, as in-house meeting, whereby we begin to voice out all challenges, and we will all together try to find solutions to alternatives to the problem. And all the issues, all the challenges in Nigeria, in China, we are trying to assist forward. I know there are things that are people, but I believe we have to find solutions to all problems that we need to solve. We have to engage the government. We also have to engage ourselves. We will put our two hands together to participate for Nigerians, whether professional, students, or businessmen and women. So it is expedient, brothers and sisters. It is necessary for all of us to come together as a family to see this situation as our own problem. With God, property with the host authority and to do ourselves. And Mother, thank you very much for your protection. Mr. Yomi, I thank you. Also, we thank you. We thank everyone. And we appreciate everyone. But you know, I know we still need to consider some of us, like Mr. Andy. You may need to come on. And we are going to take a close look. Very good. Very, very good. We are going to get a chance to read. Because we cannot allow Nigerians to be here. We will not be here. Like those people have said. And we want to be a meeting. When we do have to play it, we are smarter. We don't need to do something for this to be done. So we will do all by saying we are supposed to engage the extension, post authority, or not issue the state. And we have to the people of Nigeria. It's quite unfortunate that we are having it this way. Although individuals, all of us, I would say we still have some. I mean, in any setup, in any community, you have the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we are not going to allow the bad ones to spoil our name. We have to restore the dignity of Nigeria. It is very, very important. And we will not stop doing that. So by having this family meeting, we will advise the bad ones among us, and so that we will play together to achieve the best for ourselves. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Various points raised. Ladies and gentlemen, just as Mr. Iyesami said, we are in a family meeting. Let's keep this in mind and prepare our hearts in that way so that we can push forward to achieve all the great things that Nigerians are known to be able to achieve. Shall the faith as usual. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, remain your moderator for today, Odi. I want to invite now the head of Chancery, who is going to give the vote of thanks and remarks for the event of today. Please, ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome Mrs. Aua Kucheli Chigo to bring us the closing remarks for today. Please, over to you, madam.
On behalf of the Consul General and officers of the Consulate, I sincerely appreciate you all for logging into this session today. And should there be any need for subsequent meetings, the Consulate will not hesitate to convey invitations. At this juncture, I wish to convey our best wishes. Thank you so much, and see you soon.
Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the official end of the meeting. For the family meeting continues, and issues get explored. The platform. Want to talk?
Thank you. All right. Yeah, let me quickly make a final note. Thank you very much, Excellencies. We really commend this effort, and we will be very glad to equally be able to pass on this information and everything said yesterday for Nigerians. And although we Nigerians living here know this country much better, but at the same time, the consulate will really be of great help in trying to sensitize Nigerians about being part of organizations, so that because usually it is through these organizations, the consulate's job will be much easier in trying to reach the broader Nigerian population. And there are thousands of problems facing Nigerians, but above all, having lived in China for so long, I believe an image overall will be best for the consulate to focus on. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Presido. Thank you. Okay, area up now. Longest time,
I did. Please.
It's like dips in records. Let's make Nigeria great. Let's make Nigeria great. Let's make Nigeria great. Join us for the Nigerian Nigerian Consultative Town Hall Meeting in Shanghai. An interaction with His Excellency Chimeze Okioma Ogu, Consul General of the Nigerian Consulate in Shanghai. Let's join hands and make Nigeria great.
Let's make Nigeria great.